Be a different story. The Wales players will be operating with the backing of the biggest crowd ever to watch an international between these two countries in the Principality. As for England, it's a mixture of the unknown and the familiar. Most of the players have taken part in big club games, many of them in this marvellous Millennium Stadium. But perhaps none of them will have dealt with such an intimidating atmosphere. It's a great setting. Wales can't qualify, but they can harm England's chances. There's been a lot of talk here about respecting the national anthem. It does belong to the entire United Kingdom, but I don't think that will carry very much weight on occasions like this one. Under 7,000 England fans here. Now, Hen, Vlad, Fern, had I, land of my fathers. Definite edge here. Kick-off in Cardiff coming right up. We'll be right back.
And the road to Germany continues through Cardiff this afternoon. Our World Cup football is Wales against England, live here on Sky Sports. Commentators Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
It's the 99th meeting. Wales have won only 14. The 49th in Wales. And the first for 21 years, Wales have won only 6. But this group of England players has acquired a reputation for responding very positively to criticism, and there's been plenty of that, Andy, since the result in Copenhagen, England's worst defeat since they lost 4-1 in Wales 25 years ago.
I think there was an awful lot made about that, and I think the time for all that talking is just about to end. Actions are what the England manager will be demanding today.
It's a very warm day. And this stadium tends to retain the heat. And here's Sean Wright-Phillips trying to give Wales a hot beginning with England's first attack.
Nearly. I tell you, if he'd have gotten control of that, it might have been different. This is a super ball from Rooney. Just drifting off the back three there. Can't give that boy that much space. If he'd have got decent control of that, or hit it first time, it just might have been the perfect start for England. I just think those wide areas might just be key. I think Ashley Cole and Luke Young might just get as much of the ball as they want, like this, in good areas, with plenty of grass. And if England want to go from these situations and change the play, then they should be able to get the other full back out, and that means Wales are going to work extremely hard to stop this.
Ashley Cole, 80s Frank Lampard, Jamie Carragher lining up on the left of Rio Ferdinand, as he did for the second half in Denmark. And it all went wrong for England, and David Beckham was actually accused by Sven-Göran Eriksson of straying too much from the right-hand side. Well, maybe have come up between them with the solution to that. He's obviously starting in the middle. Ashley Cole knows more than most about this stadium, certainly in the England ranks, and more than some of the Welsh lads as well.
That's the ball I'm talking about. That's the play. I feel sure England must have worked on that.
Young's cross. Rooney trying to get there. In fact, Joe Cole does get there, and he was trying to get some extra power into that header. Couldn't get the accuracy.
Well, I'm not down there, but I'm surprised he didn't let it drop. I think he had more time than he thought, but this is a tactic England are going to use, and Wales are going to have to come up with a way of stopping it. But as this drops here, it goes very early, but there's no one really pressing him. Maybe he would have got closed down. And that's two little half chances that England have created in the opening 2 minutes.
Danny Coyne is the Wales' first choice goalkeeper now, since John Toshak took over from Mark Hughes. Carragher. Wales had a dreadful start at Old Trafford 11 months ago. An injury in the warm-up meant very late changes to 3 positions in the team, including Simon Davis having to move from midfield to right back, and then they were a goal down in 4 minutes. They didn't even play with the pride and the passion that one's come to expect of Wales teams.
I think that's the criticism levelled at the Welsh side. They won't get that today, I feel sure of that, but not the fact that they lost Wales at Old Trafford. The manner of defeat was hard to swallow for Welsh fans. No passion, no pride almost.
And John Toshak is trying to develop through a group of younger players. It's not easy to experiment for a match of this magnitude. Certainly one for the future as well as the present. Ashley Cole, believe it or not, has played 9 times here for Arsenal. It's certainly a second home for him. Lampard, Rooney, and this kick by Joe Cole. The pitch certainly isn't pristine.
No, it's not.
It's going to be taken up after this game is finished. Gerrard. And Robert Page, one of John Toshak's back 3.
As much as we made of it, maybe England would be nervous, but I think at the beginning of this match, I think rightly, it's the Welsh players that are a tad nervous, tad anxious.
A deep ball from Steven Gerrard, looking for Sean Wright-Phillips. Wright-Phillips was very nervous when he made his debut in that friendly earlier in the year against Holland, his full debut. But he caught Sven-Göran Eriksson's eye certainly last Saturday when he was an excellent substitute in Chelsea's win at Tottenham. Maybe the match that cost Jermaine Defoe his chance of playing in this team. Coyne now plays for Burnley, where it wasn't even an automatic choice for his club at the start of the season, but he's back in Steve Cottrell's team now. Ashley Cole's header, and Page. David on getting in quickly. Arsenal fight for everything in the air. Well judged by Carrigan. Collected here by Duffy. Into Hartson's feet. It's Beckham who gets the tackle in. And Joe Cole who can bring it to some sort of safety for England and try and do more than that, but Page intercepts. Hartson's had a very good beginning to his campaign in Scotland with Celtic, a goal a game in the first 7. And he's in much better shape physically than he was when he took on England, or tried to take on England at Old Trafford in October of last year.
But you won't mind seeing him. If you're an England fan over on the touchline out there 40 yards from goal, he's never going to turn away from Carragher or Ferdinand and outrun them, that's for sure. Happy to see him there. And Sven-Göran Eriksson, his threat will be anything coming into the box, in and around it, holding it, making a chance. That's what Wales are looking for from Big John.
And Hartson able to knock it down, not with any great control, because Wright Phillips will get there and just shepherd it out for an England throw. It's Hartson the main man, Giggs supporting him. Simon Davis, probably the midfield 3, will be the most likely to get into attacking positions. That's the sort of thing England have got to worry about. Well, Giggs making a challenge on Beckham there to suggest that maybe that will be part of his role today. Really turning and not really closed down, using the space to pick out Wright Phillips. A comfortable catch for Coyne.
Yeah, the lads were talking in the studio. If David Beckham gets the ball, he's allowed to get his head up, pick his passes, he might get harmed, and which of the midfield 3 would actually take him. But I think you're right. I think if anyone's going to be asked to look after David Beckham when Wales lose the ball, it will be Ryan Giggs, just dropping off the front.
But now he's trying to react to perhaps the main part of his job, to read the knockdowns from Hartson. He wasn't far away. Well, Luke Young, with less than 20 minutes England experience before today. It's a compliment to him and to Charlton Athletic. He's got the vote when Gary Neville had to pull out. He has possessed quite a decent throw as well. Whether England have worked on utilising it, maybe we're about to see. Who comes to it, and if there was any rehearsal, didn't really show.
There's no real point in tossing it in there. We've only got really Wayne Rooney as a target.
It's 50 years since Wales last beat England in Cardiff. Giggs from Cardiff. One of the great myths that he turned down England to play for Wales. He was never qualified for England. Born in Cardiff, Welsh parents, Welsh extended family. Of course, he played for England schoolboys because he went to school in England. Doesn't qualify you to play for the national team. Yeah, it's
amazing, isn't it?
It's an urban myth in football terms. Here's Sam Ricketts, who was born in England, but qualifies on his mother's side, play for Wales. Giggs jumping, beaten by Carragher, corrected by Simon Davis, who's had some shin problems. Was determined to get himself right to play in this game. It's a manageable injury, is how he described it to me. Here's Carl Fletcher to Hartson. Giggs trying to get it wide to Duffy, who's a Coventry player at the moment on loan from Portsmouth. Duffy, it's his second cap, and he did very well in his first last month against Slovenia when Wales drew 0-0 in Swansea. Partridge with a header.
It's Wales' interest, if they can, to make England play it as long as possible. When you look at the 3 targets, Cole, Rooney, Wright Phillips, not exactly towering in the air, but England will want to work the ball around the ground. They'll have to be patient, feed it in, get it, cross the pitch, back again, probe for that opening.
Ferdinand. by Wright Phillips, taken on by Luke Young, who claims he was being bought there. The officials, incidentally, all from Russia. Valentin Ivanov is the referee. Ferdinand. Young. Ferdinand's caught upfield. Can Wales exploit that? Ryan Giggs has got a long way to run. He's doing his best. Beckham came across. And I think it's fair to say unhinged Ryan Giggs' attempts to carry on, but not in a manner that caught the eye of the referee.
He might have got a free kick. I would say that. I think he was looking for it, Ryan. He knew he had very little support.
Gerrard. Peter Beckham, who would be out of the Northern Ireland game on Wednesday should he pick up another yellow card today. It would be his fourth in the group, and of course he was suspended after the home game against Wales. Controversial circumstances. Here's Joe Cole. Behind Rooney there is no one, because Joe Cole, in the shape of things, would have been that player. Carl Robinson of Sunderland. Can't keep it. Just feel amongst the large contingent of Welsh fans, there's a little bit of apprehension. England are having plenty of the ball here. Gerrard, Rooney. And big cheer for Gabidon's challenge.
Well, Wales have got plenty of players, although they haven't ahead of the player in the top half of the pitch. They've got plenty behind the ball. That's the thing, it's making it difficult for England in and around the edge of the box.
Wright Phillips. Ferdinand. Coming further forward. Work it wide to Luke Young again. And Duffy will want to let this run if he can, and he can.
Doesn't look old enough, does he? Richard Duffy.
He's only 20. A passing resemblance to Mark Delaney, who's one of the Wales players who's now injured.
I think part of this game set already. You can't see any real change in that. Feel sure England will continue to dominate the ball.
Well, I don't know whether John Toshak was of a mind to fully believe all that was coming out of the England camp through the newspapers in midweek. He certainly, apart from really dropping Giggs in around Beckham, hasn't made too many changes. He likes to play with three at the back, which can, of course, go to five.
And it has been pretty much since the whistle blew. It's because the pressure that they're under.
Beckham. Touchdown to Gerrard by Rooney. Overs typically from Joe Cole. Wales held their line well enough, and it would have been unlikely for Sean Wright Phillips to head England into the lead. Dave Partridge, who was in the same West Ham youth team as Rio Ferdinand and Frank Lampard, had to go into Scottish football to really build his career, though. Now he's playing in England with Bristol City. Header by Giggs. Hartson using his strength. Giggs again. Chance maybe to involve Ricketts down the left-hand side, but he looks instead for the head of Hartson. Comes out to Duffy, who nearly scored on his debut against Slovenia with a wonderful left-footed shot. And back by Partridge. Hartson is the target again. Robinson trying to get there. It's an easy header away from Ferdinand. A bit of a giveaway by Lampard. Here is Ricketts. Now Swansea. Robinson tried to dump it.
It's unlucky. Just the toe of Rio Ferdinand just intercepted that. See that little bit of play, Wales.
Yeah. Got the photo of Philip Neville for the right back job. It's perhaps the last decision that Sven-Göran Eriksson really made about this team. Ferdinand. And we'll get time on the ball at the back. Moving towards a bit more traffic now, but Rooney decided to have a crack from distance. Maybe Lampard will do the same, and he does!
Oh, that's close. Beautifully struck. It just shows you if your technique's good, you don't need a run at the ball, do you? Because he just controls this and hits it. This is a lovely block, right in tube. Watch this. It's control. Half a step and it beautifully struck. And you always know if a goalkeeper's flying across his goal that he's worried, he's anxious. He had every right to be.
It was Frank Lampard who fired England into that early lead against Wales at Old Trafford last year. A goal he had to fight for in the end because there was a minuscule touch off Michael Owen. But certainly had Michael, like the true striker he is, interested in claiming it. Beckham not closed down at all this time, and is giving him an opportunity to show his passing range. Handball by Hartson. Young, along with Paul Robinson, is a debutant in this stadium. Rooney, of course, was here in May for the cup final. Now Simon Davis.
He doesn't often play it blind, Wayne Rooney, but I think he did then. I just thought if he'd back to defender at the penalty area, would have taken him on.
Diggs. A little bit of a hurry to release it, and it's a mistake by Carragher, and Simon Davis tries to come up with something even better than Lampard.
The hand goes out from Jamie Carragher, an apology. Doesn't need anyone to tell him he made a mistake. But this is what England are trying to do. They're trying to pass the ball about, but there are times when you don't, and there are times when you shouldn't. It's just a poor ball.
Simon Davis now of Everton, given the ball by Jamie Carragher. Long time at Liverpool. There's a lot of Liverpool involvement in this match, particularly on the sidelines. With John Toshak supported by Roy Evans, the former Liverpool manager. England, of course, have Ray Clements, the goalkeeping coach, Sammy Lee. Some knowledge from that old Anfield boot room. Used by two neighbouring countries. All together again at last. Whole generation. Wayne Rooney wasn't even born the last time England played in Wales. Gerrard, the subject of Liverpool. Beckham. Now Lampard. Gerrard, Rooney. Looking for Steven Gerrard. Gabidon just got a little bit of the ball. Rooney doesn't think so.
I don't think so either. I think his studs hit the ground though. I thought he missed the ball totally, but whether it's he's catching Steven Gerrard or whether his studs are just getting caught in the grass here, it's a lovely piece of interplay. He looks to play the ball, misses it totally. Yeah. The referee just... I don't think he's going for Steven Gerrard. I think he misses the ball. It's as simple as that.
But he was worried for a second, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It's unlike Danny Gabidon, who's come through Welsh football, of course, with Cardiff City.
But that's what he's there for, that little sort of play, that interplay, because he's quick, he's got pace. There you go, that's the first foul of the day, can you believe that? 20th minute, apart from Hartson's handball, there hasn't been player against player, free kick given yet, till then.
Two teams showing a bit more respect for each other than the supporters did for each other's national anthems. Partridge did well, he knew where both the ball was, and Sean Wright-Phillips. Sam Ricketts, who grew up in a show jumping family, his father Derek is still involved with the Great Britain show jumping team.
Turned the wrong way. Carl Fletcher has turned into Sean Wright-Phillips.
Ashley Cole. Giggs belatedly getting back to Beckham, who had a pretty free pass to Joe Cole. Certainly mixing it up a little bit in midfield, but it's not really working in that attack. Robinson, Davis. Giggs is the furthest forward this time. That's for the first time in the match. Wales caught in possession with Gavidon. Gerrard and Rooney have picked their passes, and a good save by Coyne. It comes out to Wright Phillips, and Coyne is back again. The goalkeeper who made that terrible mistake, the cross defeat in Austria, has come up with a double stop here.
Well, I talk about defenders realising when to pass and when to play, but from there it's just super play. I'm just amazed that Rooney hasn't scored. A little dink was on. Goalkeeper's gone to ground. Super little play between Gerrard and Rooney. But England are in control of this game, as you'd expect. Opening quarter. Possession's been good.
Wales know that they've got to pick their moments, really.
Yeah, they have.
Headed out by Page. Duffy. Nicely into the feet of Giggs. Carragher and Lampard between them, making it uncomfortable for the Welsh captain. Rooney. Ashley Cole. It's always the full-back on either side. Giggs finally getting in the way, having lost possession, and now he's got to defend again because almost ricocheted to his clubmate Wayne Rooney. Well, first quarter of the match, Rooney had a wonderful chance to give England the lead, but it was an opening that came initially from a Wales mistake. Like Wales's best effort so far from Simon Davis, but it was from distance after a miscued Carragher clearance. Good work by Ricketts. Well, he looked up and he was thinking of what we might call a Dennis Bergkamp moment.
Yeah. Well, the first bit was very good, the second less so. But in all honesty, he looked in there, and apart from John Hartson and Simon Davies had absolutely no support. I looked at the edge of the box. Was there a red shirt supporting him? No, too far away. And that's the problem the Welsh have got. It's how you get men in advanced positions without leaving yourself exposed at the back.
Wales, we shouldn't forget, are ranked 83 in the world. And Joe Cole has the sting taken out of the shot by Page's block. England ranked 7th, but that list was compiled before the 4-1 defeat in Denmark. Puts them currently the 3rd highest European nation behind Holland and the Czech Republic.
It's going to be a long day for Wales, and I'll tell you what, they are going to be absolutely shattered the longer this game comes on, because England are working them about the pitch, and they're having to work extremely hard. If you don't have possession of the ball at this level, you'll be amazed how you can be worked across the pitch, and that's what England are doing to Wales. Working at the fitness, working at their discipline, their concentration, all of those things that are affected with tiredness.
Page. So Toshak had to wait for his players to get through the bank holiday weekend. A lot of the team played on Monday.
A little example there, you see it. Massive possession for England, double what the Welsh have.
John Toshak has had a really good view of the confrontation here. Carragher and Duffy.
Well, I have to say, I think that's a pretty honest, solid challenge. I don't know whether Ryan Giggs is complaining about a free kick he might have had earlier or whatever, but didn't look an awful lot wrong with that. It was two guys going for the ball and both getting to it. But this is a hero at the moment. The villain last time out against Austria, as you said. And after, I don't know what Danny Gabaldon is thinking he's doing. You do not do that when you're being surrounded. And they worked a beautiful 1-2. Little dink over the legs is going to score. Sees this one all the way, that's comfortable. But the first save's an absolute gem. How big might this be for Wales today?
9 previous caps spread over 9 years. Perennial backup. He's got the job now, and saves like that, he'll keep it.
Yeah, they're just working it a little better this near side with Ricketts and Partridge. Ricketts is playing slightly ahead now, and Partridge is the one who's looking after Sean Wright-Phillips. And I think that's trying to stop England do that cross-field pass.
Gerrard. Wright-Phillips is away from both of them, and he slipped as he hit it, and then that's catching practice for Danny Coyne. Duffy. Carl Fletcher, who hasn't got near the West Ham starting lineup since they got into the Premiership via, of course, the Millennium Stadium in the playoff. Robinson. They're going to make a little bit more of that type of possession.
That was just wasteful. First time they had support, they had numbers forward.
Certainly the weather, and it was very cloudy this morning. It's been a beautiful week in South Wales. Perfect really for the last few days of the school holidays. And it's not a great day on which to play international football. Page.
They'll take that, Wales, that's what I'm saying about they want. That's what they'll try and get England to do. It's a ball that John Tashett will say, well, my centre-half should win that.
Davis and Hartson, the key figures in Mark Hughes' Welsh team. Had a great run of 10 internationals unbeaten, but those days have been rather blown away. Wales still without a win in their group, just 2 draws. They've lost the last 4. England have only, of course, dropped 2 points, having lost that 2-0 lead in Austria, a match that they should have won. But now Giggs.
And the side flag was up there against Robinson. Had good options. Well, I say good options, 2 options. The ball he chose, and look at Hartson as he's knocked this down. He did his job, but he's then just going to try and engage Ashley Cole. And I'm just surprised that that ball wasn't tossed in. Hartson against Cole. You have to fancy it.
Well, Giggs has been out of action at the start of the season with a chest infection. Well, Wales fans are always pleased when he does come to play for the country. 51 caps in 14 years. Tells you he's missed a few. Well judged by Ferdinand against Giggs. Partridge, as you say, is almost at times becoming a left-back, Andy, isn't he?
I think John Toshak obviously knows football, and he's recognised that if he kept the system the way it was, they were going to be running about, chasing that ball most of the game. So they've tried to do that and say to Simon Davies, well, if it starts to come across the pitch, you've got to be the one who gets close to Ashley Cole.
Beckham's interception, Rooney's footwork. Ashley Cole offering support, gives it back to Rooney. For a little clip when a shot could have possibly been on. Luke Young wins it back with the visiting nation. Ashley Cole. And Lampard, so dangerous on the edge of the area. Ashley Cole hasn't scored a goal for England. Not officially, did score in a penalty shootout. Of course, scored in this stadium in a penalty shootout in the FA Cup final.
Well, might be a free kick there. Frank Lampard, ball bounces up, studs come up, but nothing given. He'll be fairly happy, I think. He'll be happy with his team's possession. They'll be happy that they've created a golden opportunity, but they'll just be getting a little anxious that it's still 0-0.
Of course, his reputation really with England has come from these qualifying games, hasn't he? England undefeated in that respect under Sven-Göran Eriksson. Here's Duffy able to get forward, and Beckham has to really boot it behind for a corner.
Lack of communication between Cole and Carragher. Half an hour, the first corner of the match. And this is what, if you were Wales, you'd play for, wouldn't you? You'd play for set plays. It gives you an opportunity to get centre-backs up. It gives you the opportunity to support John Hartson. And this is where it's all important when you do that, and they're few and far between. But the quality coming in has to be good.
England haven't defended set plays particularly well. And they're struggling here.
That's a chance, isn't it?
For Duffy as it dropped.
Well, they weren't totally convincing in defending this one. Don't do a great job of clearing that. I think he just loses his standing foot here. Just gets away from him. You watch his left foot. Just gets away from him and just leaning back as well. What a story that would have been.
He's a Swansea boy. He started at Swansea City. Portsmouth took him and did make one Premiership appearance as a substitute, but he's now trying to cut his teeth with Coventry on loan. Young. Seen off by Gabidon. Sean Wright-Phillips. Just the start of wonderful days of international football with Scotland against Italy at 5:15 on Sky Sports 1, so stay with us, same channel. And then a vital match in the same group as Wales and England, Poland against Austria. We start at 7:30 against Sky Sports 1.
I just noticed Steve McLaren out, and I wondered how long it would take, because much of the criticism that England faced against Denmark, David Beckham, was how they were narrow in the midfield on the right-hand side. And for about the last 10 minutes, Sean Wright-Phillips has been anything but on the right-hand side, and Steve McLaren's just got out and he's just been indicating to widen it. Get yourself wider.
Steve McLaren with Sammy Lee there. Ferdinand. Contingent in the stadium tried to sing, they've been whistled and drowned out. Here's Rooney, might get them cheering though. Page heads out. Robinson trying to get there. That's Carl Robinson. We haven't had cause to mention Paul Robinson yet in the England goal. Here's Gerrard. It's a holding operation for Wales, and the longer it goes on, the happier they'll be. And the more frustrating it will be for England. Rooney. Gerrard. Now Luke Young. Ferdinand is there to back him up. Wales is saying, well, you can have it. Yeah. You know, we'll pick it off when you finally play it into an area that might hurt us. So Ricketts tried to do then, but he lost out to Young, who's got wrong side of him from Wales' point of view. So Partridge got something on the cross to Ricketts' relief.
Well, it's a tactic against defence for the vast majority of this half. Wales getting bodies in the way.
Beckham. Ashley Cole's touch took him into trouble in the shape of Duffy. Now Davis. There's a one for Giggs to chase here. Ferdinand drawn across. Simon Davis has gone on into the centre. Hartson, of course, is there. How can Giggs get a deep cross towards John Hartson? A very good touch by Ashley Cole. Hartson's eyes were lighting up.
Well, I'll tell you what, another foot of height on that. Another yard of distance. And you just feel sure he certainly would have worked the goalkeeper from 7 yards out. Ashley Cole's done a great job. Because he must know he's going to get clobbered. But that's what you work for. That's what Wales would have worked for. That combination. Hartson against Cole.
John Toshak is a foxy coach. He's worked all over Europe, 6 different countries. And I must say, when it comes to a tactical battle, he's one that relishes it. Trying to draw England's sting here, really.
Well, frustrate them, Mark. I mean, whose priority is it to win the game today? England. I mean, I think anything other than 3 points is a poor result for England. They need to win the game. John Toshak knows that. He's picked a side that's fairly defensive. How long he'll be thinking will it be before England get anxious, start tossing it in there, get frustrated, get nervy themselves? Certainly not now, not at the moment. But if Wales can get to half-time at 0-0, who knows?
Page. Giggs calling for it from Gabidon. Well judged header by Carragher. And what about the England system, Mr. Gray?
I think it's done all right. I mean, if you're asking me, would an England playing with 4 across the middle and with Rooney off a front man, would it have been any better or worse? I don't think it would have been. It might have got them a goal. It's done all right, though.
It's flying in.
I mean, I'll ask you then, David Beckham, contribution?
Knocked 1 or 2 forward, hasn't he? Nothing startling, though.
Yeah, anything that Jamie Carragher or Rio Ferdinand couldn't have done.
Okay.
You know, 7 attempts is good, but you'd expect that. You know, you are talking about a major nation here in England playing against a team who are really going through transition. Oh, period. Got a lot of young kids in the field as well, and who really don't expect an awful lot. Have 2 points in the section. I'd expect England to have 7 attempts. They'd be disappointed if they hadn't.
Thatcher's tackle on Gerrard.
But in the end, Ericsson will be judged on the goals his team do or don't get today.
Last time England played in Cardiff, 1982, they won 1-0, and that would do.
Yeah.
And goal from a colleague now of ours, Trevor Francis. Of course, that was played at Millennium Park. Beckham's perhaps best attempt at a real cutting edge of a pass. And he gets Sean Wright Phillips in behind, a little nod of approval about the run.
You know, you look at the players that are around, though. 2 red shirts and a goalkeeper. He's asking a lot.
Hartson's header. Given away by Young. Giggs. Again, Hartson calling for it in the middle, arm raised. And he gets there, John Hartson, terrific stop. Now, Paul Robinson's had absolutely nothing to do. And that's a save of real elasticity.
That is an absolute top draw save. The Carragher and Cole change here because they've got time, but it doesn't matter to Hartson. I'm telling you something. Open the drawer, top one in your wardrobe and stick that in it. That is a brilliant save. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, John Hartson careering off after that has earned himself a yellow card and a suspension.
I really can't tell. This is a tackle. Hartson, great head, and then comes in a little late. Yeah, you're not going to get away with that against the foreign referee in charge. A yellow card for that.
And he can't play in Poland on Wednesday, which is perhaps it's bad news for Wales, but it might be bad news for England as well, because obviously a good Wales performance in Poland, a good result for Wales in Poland, would help England's chances of topping the group.
Well, we're 0-0 here, but apart from 2 very good, well, 1 good save, I would say, from Danny Coyne, and an absolutely brilliant save from Paul Robinson, it might not be.
Well, it was a header that had goal written all over it from John Hartson. That's how he earns his living. But that's how Paul Robinson earns his. At the top of his trade, there's been talk about England developing a new out-and-out number 1. I think they found one.
And here's Ashley Cole. Joe Cole, Lampard. Inside the last 5 minutes of the first half. Young. 20 forward for England, 20 back for Wales. That's a little thumbnail sketch, really, of much of this first half, excluding the moment of the half from England's goalkeeper Paul Robinson, aided by that terrific Hartson header. Gerrard, Rooney, right Phillips. Flag was a little on the right side.
That's close for me. I worked with Robert Page had he dropped in. It was amazing how when the arms go up, how the flag twitches. Just off. Just.
But it is Wales 0, England 0, and Andy, you're absolutely right. The draw for England in these circumstances will not be seen as anything more than a disaster, really. I mean, obviously Poland play later on tonight, but they are at home to Austria. They've got Wales to play at home as well, so they'll be looking at 6 points. They have played a game more.
Well, I think Sven-Göran Eriksson thinks they'll get 6 out of 6. That's why he's already quoted as saying that only 9 out of 9 will mean that England will go into that final game on top.
And just for the record, in a position where both countries might virtually have qualified because of the best second place. A couple of those will go through automatically. And if Poland and England keep winning, the final match in Manchester could be academic.
The referee won't be too happy with this. That's about 4 times they've tossed it to a different player. Looking for half-time. Looking for a rest.
England looking for a goal before half-time with Gerrard. There's the extra man. One or two Wales players stopped as well, thinking that it was a free kick going to be given in England's favour then, but the Russian referee didn't see it that way. Ferdinand. Not too much of a hurry, but he was able to pick himself up. And Lampard turns Gabidon. It's a challenge by Fletcher, and Gabidon clears.
That type of thing's not good enough, but I guess with 90 seconds left, those will feel that they can soak it up, but it only takes a second to score a goal.
And a Beckham pass to Sean Wright-Phillips, and Lampard arriving. Certainly took a final touch off for Gabidon. Might have been heading for a corner in any case.
Well, not so much how much Fletcher gets on this, but this is what I mean about taking a second. And I think if Lampard can get his right foot on this, he scores. But he looks to open his body up with his left.
Last knockings of the first half. Beckham with the corner. And Carl Fletcher heads out. Wales try and push out. It's good work by Young, and then Beckham. And Joe Cole with a really good opportunity in the 45th minute.
That's a great chance. What a ball this is from Beckham. One touch, and watch this, outside the right foot. Joe Cole takes a chance on this. Well, he should score. Well, maybe he should hit the target. And the only way you don't score is if your keeper does this. That is absolutely magnificent. It just gets better every time you see it. Well, I think that Sven-Göran Eriksson, I feel England might well be up by now. The Rooney chance, Joe Cole's there. 2 unbelievable chances at this level England have not taken.
Well, much has been said about the friendlies and England's approach, or lack of approach to them. But we are in the results business in the World Cup qualifying groups. So 1 minute of added time. England would look at the way the first half has shaped up and say, well, the system has worked okay because there have been chances to be in front. So nonetheless, Nevertheless, Wales will still be ruining Robinson's agility. Paul Robinson, that is. One really big moment. And the half hasn't come to an end yet. It's a corner. Just dealing in a few seconds here before the half-time whistle. As Beckham bends it in, Davidon gets ahead to it, and in the context of a World Cup qualifier, a truly world-class save by Paul Robinson of England from John Hartson of Wales. Wales have played a cagey game here. You might say they've been forced back a bit, and that would be true to some extent. And John Toshak has put out a team here to try and frustrate the English in the Millennium Stadium, and he's done that so far with a little bit of luck, a bit of help from his own goalkeeper as well, and at half-time it's 0-0.
Bearing in mind the quality of that save, Wales will be disappointed to go in not a goal up. Jamie Redknapp and Chris Coleman with us this afternoon. We'll get their thoughts when we come back on a half which has yet to produce a goal, but has given us plenty to talk about.
To bring on Jermaine Defoe and hopefully get that little bit of goal, that bit of magic, and that'll free Wayne Rooney up to come from a slightly deeper position. I'm sure he's. I don't think that'd be an admission that he's not happy with the formation at all.
England are back. Wales, as you can see, are on their way back. No changes. Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Thank you, Richard. How great England will be in the rest of this group will be decided within Britain. Cardiff here against Wales today. Belfast on Wednesday, and then 2 home games against Austria and Poland next month.
Often watched by thousands of people who could well do with the exercise. Well, I ask you,
Andy, we know what's in it for England today and what their target is. Just a word on Wales and John Toshak's team building on 45 minutes viewing.
Well organised, disciplined. I think they've worked extremely hard. When you think of the 2 wide areas, you've got a 20-year-old, a 23-year-old, 5 caps between them only. That's experience. And I think what he's trying to do is breed a new type of Wales. There are obviously players like Ryan and John Hartson in their 30s, but will be a valuable partner in the next 3 or 4 years for them, along with those youngsters.
The last player to score for Wales in a World Cup qualifier against England was John Toshak. That's down, of course, to the scarcity of meetings. It was at Wembley, and it was in a game that finished 1-1, and it contributed to England failing to qualify for the 1974 finals. John has been pointing out that the last time the 3 countries involving with Poland as well in the same section, it was Poland who went through and the other 2 didn't, so the history could repeat itself. It would need a strong showing from Wales in the second half to influence it against England, you feel, given the amount of possession that England had in the first 45 minutes. But they haven't got a goal to show for it. That remains the key.
You've got to expect that England will create at least another couple of good chances. And Wales is what it would be should England take one.
Maybe Wales will create another chance as well with a Giggs-Hartson combination. And the shooting of Davis.
He's a little too anxious to have a shot when he never really controlled the ball well enough. But a bright opening from the skipper. That left-hand side. Ryan Giggs of old here. Bobbing and weaving in. Always going to cause you a problem with his pace. No one goes near. Look at the 3 Welsh shots. All 3 of them decided to go middle goal and back. No one took a gamble near post.
Page, who's celebrating his 31st birthday today. A working day, that's for sure. Fletcher. Page. Davis's touch. Carl Fletcher again. And Partridge. Into the head of Carl Robinson, is trying to guide it off to Sam Ricketts.
I just think that Eriksson will give it an hour. I think if it's 0-0, I think they'll be looking to make a change there. whether it's just purely personnel or whether it is system. If it is system, I don't think that's an admission of getting it wrong. It's an admission that you see it's not working today and it isn't right, and that's when you've got to change it. You've got to be big enough to say, oh, okay, it might not be working today, so let's change it back.
It's Ferdinand's ball to Sean Wright-Phillips. Backed up by Gerrard. Young making a run inside the midfield player. Danny Coyne makes the charge off his line. Backed by a good shout for the ball, I'm sure.
Well, that's what the Welsh want to do. Just when we talked about wide areas, if England get the ball there, not too concerned. Concern would be if they work the ball. What they want them to do is what Steven Gerrard did then, try and attempt to cross. As I've said before, if you're a centre-back and you're against Wayne Rooney, you might get out-skilled, but you should at least contest it in the air.
Giggs able to collect unchallenged, and suddenly Wales have got 5 players forward here. And hoping for the supply line from his skipper again. But as Wales do push on a little bit, the opportunity is there for Beckham's passing to open them up. Wright-Phillips and Joe Cole. It's a pretty hefty touch with his first contact with the ball. It's unlike Joe Cole. His technique is normally very good.
I think that's been symptomatic of his game, really. That sums up the performance he's had for me. He's just not quite been there, Joe. This little chance he's got, his touch should be more assured than this. He's got far more talent than to allow that to get away from him. And his header, end of the first half, a real glorious opportunity.
Partridge. Hartson gets in front of Ferdinand. And then lays it off well to Duffy. Davis wants it to feet. Duffy and Giggs to the right, but Ashley Cole, typically nimble, gets in. But how much in the end will England rue Michael Owen's yellow card that he couldn't play in this game? Stadium which has happy memories of that FA Cup final in 2001.
It does, I think they've got 40 minutes to win this match, and should they do so, then all the questions, all the doubts, England will feel have been answered.
Yeah. Gerrard. For Wright-Phillips to strike it, and strike it well.
Nice football.
Straightforward save for Coyne, but one that had to be made.
Yeah, you always expect Sean Wright-Phillips to be joining up there. Might have been going over. Might have been a little bit too much elevation in this, but, as a goalkeeper, he's close to his line. The right thing is just to help it over.
5 minutes gone in the second half. And referee concerned about a bit of tangling between Carragher and Hartson. Ferdinand going towards the near post. Lampard behind him. Almost dropped for Gerrard. It might still drop for Gerrard. Handed out by Fletcher, and Giggs has got nowhere to go but backwards.
Had to buy some time. Well played, Ryan Giggs.
Across the face of his own defending by Ricketts. He's lucky to get away with. Hartson, Simon Davis. The Millennium Stadium roar starting to build there as Wales look to build here.
Just got to put the brakes on a little. Lack of numbers again, but they have kept possession.
Partridge. That's the target, but not a very happy target, I don't think, on that occasion.
No, might have just kept that going wide to Ricketts, Partridge, but a little anxious.
Beckham. Flag has gone up. In the international arena, the assistants have been instructed to wait until the player takes a touch on the ball. You just wonder what would happen if the goalkeeper thought, well, the flag's not going up, flew out and collided with Sean Wright-Phillips. Players can get injured.
Yeah, just a little early, but not much in that.
Wales are preparing their first change. Robinson lets it run. Hart. Davis, Carl Robinson, he spotted the run. It was a difficult ball.
No, he's fooled you as well, though.
He was apologising to everybody else. For Sam Rickett's crosses, England fortunately were concentrating from their point of view, and Simon Davis with that peripheral vision for which he is so famous.
We all thought he was looking forward there, and he wasn't, for a square pass.
Ferdinand, Lampard. Again, this air of unease from the Welsh supporters, concerned that really England are having so much of the ball, but it's quite different here, you sense, to the rugby internationals, where the pressure on the visiting nation seems to be kept on all the time. Maybe they have more confidence in their rugby team than their football team. Here's Wright Phillips. Oh, and it's Joe Cole! England lead.
Well, if you continue to create, they were always going to take one. Suddenly it turns good for Joe Cole. You just wonder how much, if any, a little deflection played a part in this. Super ball from Beckham. He tried it moments earlier. He just repeats the dose. And this time, full marks. Lovely little ball in. There's a deflection again, much like the first goal at Old Trafford when Frank Lampard scored. Not the best luck. Goalkeeper's got that covered. And off it comes off Gavidan's head. Leaves him absolutely helpless. It's a little bit of luck England have been looking for.
And Jason Kumas has come on. He was waiting to come on at 0-0. He arrives at Wales 0, England 1. Ryan Giggs seems to be complaining about the ball. So here is Kumas, who's on loan here in Cardiff at Cardiff City from West Brom. He's replaced Carl Robinson. One midfield player for another. Kumas, who is a little bit unpredictable, but has creative ability. Hearts, Wales now need that. Maybe England were on the point of making a change, but
Amazing what a goal does. And as I say, it might well have been the man who scored. I have to say it. That's one way to stop your manager making a change.
Foul by Beckham on Davis. But that apprehension I was talking of amongst the Welsh 60,000 fans here actually turned out to be spot on, really, didn't it? Because England continued to make the chances. And right, they've had a little bit of luck as it flicked off Gavidon. But the prevailing feeling here has been that if there was going to be a goal, it would be England's, and it would be sooner rather than later. It's come. Joe Cole will certainly get the credit for it. Here's Beckham. And Rooney picked out. Gerrard on the burst. Back for Rooney. And with some of the pressure off now, England might well turn on the style. A lovely save by Danny Coyne as Rooney looked to chip him.
Well, he's looked to chip him because he knows he can't hammer it. Footballing brain is always working with Wayne Rooney's concerned. Never just takes the easy option to hammer it into the defender. He knows the only way he can score is by the little chip, the little dink, and comes so close to doing it. Good spring, so goalkeepers work at.
Beckham's corner is a deep one. Ferdinand leaning a bit on Hartson. They were teammates once upon a time at West Ham United when Rio learnt a little bit in training about the physical side of the game.
But it's been anything but that, the game today. It's hardly been a free kick to talk about.
It's been respectful, hasn't it?
Yeah. And I think the Welsh lads know that England are a better team. And they haven't been just happy to say, OK, we'll go and try and kick them out of it. Much was made of their attempts were going to be to get Wayne Rooney sent off to get him involved. It hasn't been like that. Of course, part of the reason that we're playing against Wayne Rooney is you better really get that closer.
control here and now have a goal to show for it. Joe Cole had a chance just before half-time, fluffed a good position right at the start of the second half. Confidence up and a pass for Wright Phillips, and Gerrard probably just distracted a little bit by Gavidon's unsuccessful attempt to cut out the cross.
I think that affected him. I think if he'd have committed himself, you know, sometimes you always say in football, take a chance, assume that he's going to miss it, and then have your complete swing. He probably didn't do that. It's a little high, he's a little ahead of it. All of those little things would have contributed to make it more difficult than normal.
There goes Ashley Cole, then Robert Page. Carragher's header. Fletcher, Carragher. Ricketts, but England were pushing up. There was no chance of Hudson running in behind. Beckham. For Rooney, it might just fall for Joe Cole here. Rooney's up on his feet again, but in fact the flag is up.
Well, you just wonder what John Toshak's thinking about. This one is, well, that flag's went up there, but it's gone for that. I'm not so sure whose head it actually was on that, but flag went up for Joe Cole being offside. But John Toshak's the one, obviously, who has a decision to make. He's got 3 centre-backs in there. They haven't created an awful lot in open play. And it's one of those decisions of the coach. Does he try and open it up a little for his team to get the equaliser and risk losing a second goal? Or would he, as Wales manager, take 1-0?
Giggs, who certainly wouldn't. Find the head of Hearts, Kumas. Back with Page. Hartson again. So working his way back into Ferdinand.
Oh, it must be a corner, surely. It must be a corner. No wonder why Giggs is furious. He slid in all right and Luke Young. But it looked to me like Luke Young just poked it past her and out for a corner. This is typical Hartson. Just didn't have enough support early enough. Oh, yeah, absolutely not a touch from Ryan Giggs. And the linesman's what, 10, 15 yards away?
Well, maybe the Russians remember that playoff Euro 2004. It's probably as big an occasion as Wales have had in their recent international history, getting that close to the finals of the European Championship. As Russia got the better of them over 2 legs, fairly controversial 2 games as well. Now Kumas. There's plenty of confidence on the ball, and Wales are going to need that from their attacking players now. Taking on Beckham.
He's unlucky there.
Gavidon. Smoked the chance of dispossessing the Wales centre-back.
Oh, lucky boy there. That was just played in hope rather than expectation. David Partridge.
Page. Carragher saw it coming. Lampard takes over. Joe Cole. It's a sapping day for making those forward runs from midfield. Steven Gerrard, of course, was a fitness doubt for this game. He's missed a fair bit of training recently with a calf problem. He had to persuade his own club manager, let alone Sven-Göran Eriksson, that he was OK for a game that the England lads have been looking forward to since the fixture list was announced after the draw. Almost as much as Wales. This is a generation of players who know nothing about the home internationals except what they've heard from their dads. Davis.
He's offside. He's offside. Only just though. That was the right idea. Just couldn't get the ball. Davis under control quick enough. England just hold a line. Look at that. As you see the cut of the grass, all three of them.
Half a stride.
But off, nonetheless.
And they're looking to that particular Welsh wizard more than ever now. England's target, a second goal to shore things up here. Avoid any late pressure. Carrigan. Beckham. Not quite time for flicks and tricks. Hartson. Giggs was back on his heels, and I say again, he's short of match practice himself, Ryan Giggs.
I think part of the problem for Wales is on the attacking side is they've never, I don't think on any occasion, been able to turn England's defence. Most of the games when played in front of Ferdinand and Carragher, very rarely have they had to be turning and running at their own goal.
They have got a wild card, if you like, Wales. Rob Earnshaw.
I know you were going to say, yeah. He has got pace and will run him behind.
Young. Mike Phillips has certainly stayed much wider at the start of this half. Young.
He was probably told at half-time, listen, you're in the side to give us width. You know, don't be drifting infield and narrowing it even more. 3 people already in there.
That's one defender for another, as Wales make their second change. The 31-year-old, 31 today, Robert Page, goes off. And he played 2 games last weekend. And James Collins, who's had no football this season because of a calf injury, moved from Cardiff to West Ham. Tall, brawny defender. Wales, young player of last year. Comes on for his 7th cap. That was the option for Partridge. It's a bit different to playing for Bristol City.
It's been a big ask for Wales, absolutely no doubt. The inexperience, the level that a lot of the players play at week in, week out is a mile away, a chasm away from this sort of level that they've played in today.
And I think Sam Ricketts was given a free transfer by Oxford United and went into non-league football.
Jermaine Defoe's just at the call back, so it looks like he will be coming on.
There's Ricketts. It's only 1-0 and there's still 25 minutes to go. Wales need a bit of rallying, perhaps, from the mass ranks of their fans here in the Millennium Stadium. Ricketts is stopped by Young, who's played with a fair amount of composure. Perhaps not the most daunting fixture to come into to play your first international from the start, but
yeah, I think if we'd have looked at this, he's about to come on Jermaine Defoe, we'd have looked at this, looked Young and thought, okay, so it doesn't look like Ryan Giggs are going to play left side, so I'm going to have a lot of space. I'll not really have anyone smack up against me. I should get a lot of the ball, not be tested too much defensively. And I think he's done all right with Young. He's done what he does for Charlton week in, week out. He's been dependable, does it simple, nothing complicated about his games. Exactly what you want in the right back.
And he gets the ball there from Beckham. Kicks it back to the England captain. Rooney coming deep, which leaves England distinctly short of someone to make a run in through the centre. Frank Lampard actually just seen the need to do that. Now he's checking back to get the ball to feet from Ashley Cole. They're not in a position, England, here just to knock it around and take the Olays. Here's Giggs.
He's unlucky. He's looking, he's searching. As I said, though, there's very little ahead of the Welsh player, whoever he is on the ball, unless Giggs is ahead running behind. Changes are about to be made. This will be interesting. You see that.
Jermaine Defoe, who seemed to be written into this team, not penciled in, but written in when he started against Denmark.
Well, that to me suggests that we might just see Wayne Rooney drop off the play.
Maybe Defoe carries a message for Rooney, which looks like
Right
going
side.
to the right, yeah. So it's Defoe through the middle, and here is the unpredictable, but very lively Rob Earnshaw. Has to wait for his entrance.
I think you just might be, depending on what happens in the last 20 minutes of this game, we're looking at, depending on how strong a side Ericsson thinks he should play against the Northern Irish. This might well be the side he starts with, except Defoe, replaced by a certain Michael Owen.
Have a look at it now, can't he?
Yeah.
Here is Joe Cole. Rooney. Catches tackle on Gerrard. And out by Kumas. On for Giggs. Surrounded by players in white shirts.
And it's a red one he needs.
Well, he ran it well enough to get the throw. When Rooney plays on the right, that's what he'd be expected to do. There's Simon Davis, who's had a lot of problems getting himself ready to play in this international with his ongoing shin difficulties. He dug in deep, played for the best part of 70 minutes. But no one has scored more goals in this stadium than Robert Earnshaw. 8 in 10 appearances. And you tend to expect the unexpected with him. And this is Fletcher. Now Collins. So Collins on, Kumas on, Earnshaw on. That's the end of the switches from John Toshak's point of view. There goes Gavidon. Partridge has been played into trouble by James Collins. Lampard's cross, Collins delighted to be able to effect the clearance.
Well, it's just a matter of can Wales get the ball to Giggs, to Earnshaw. One either side of Hearts, and you feel will be the shout, the feed off him if possible, run in behind, change it a little.
Will maybe just get wide one more time and get a cross into Hearts. As they did, and so nearly took the lead in the first half. But Beckham, Kumas going in, and there's a challenge by Kumas that the Russian referee didn't like.
I can't see that myself. It was on one person didn't go for the ball there. That was David Beckham, I have to say. He was rather two-footed and clumsy in his attempt. Kumas just took the ball.
I think the absence of this fixture for 20 years, Andy, tells you how much the game has changed.
Yeah.
You know, you remember home internationals you used to play in.
Yeah.
They were fiery battles. Strong physical content. Offside here.
Oh, that must have been a tight one, that.
Joe Cole limping. England play again on Wednesday in Belfast.
I noticed that.
Cole's played 6 internationals in a row now, having got the goal. Expect to be up for selection again if fit. That might be a significant if. And Michael Owen kitted up, but only because it's decent gear to wear on a warm afternoon when you sit that side of the Millennium Stadium.
Well, you've got to feel he's got to play. You know, after the week he's had, he must be bursting to get back on a football pitch again.
Kumas. Ricketts, and Young is there again. Sensible, efficient. It might have cost Charlton a few extra bob in the deal with Tottenham. And Luke Young was called up by England, first of all in May. Those 2 substitute appearances in the United States against the USA and Colombia. Earnshaw. Hansen couldn't get there. Giggs might here. Trying to hold him up, and Rooney. And it's given England's way.
It's little decisions like that go against you when you're chasing a game. There's somebody just sticking a pin in you and deflating you a little. It's amazing. He spent a career making tackles like that, Ryan Giggs, sliding in, winning the ball more times than he should.
Wanted a stride too long. Defoe trying to get it left to Cole. Here comes Collins. Duffy just had to check to stay onside. Collins tries to put him through, but willing though Richard Duffy is, he's up against one of the sprinters amongst international class fullbacks.
Well, James Collins, I mean, he had Ryan Giggs in a beautiful position, 25 yards, plumb in the middle of goal, an easy ball into him, didn't see it. But England have just got to be careful they don't get sloppy in the last 15 minutes of this game. Waited a while for the lead, got it, rather fortuitously, but got it. The last thing Sven-Göran Eriksson wants is a sloppiness to creep in.
He's shaking his head at referee Ivanov again. Lampard. Beckham again, no one near him. Orchestrates this latest England attack. Young, Rooney, now Joe Cole. So decides to cross. Defoe not dealing in a particularly easy situation against the tall Collins. Joe Cole, Gerrard, and Rooney. They're just looking for one into feet, but it goes to Lampard instead. And I guess England fans watching, Andy, are thinking, is this the shape of things to come tactically for Sven-Göran Eriksson?
I think it's one thing to play it against Wales. It's another to play it against a really top international team. We shall see. Might be the system, will it be the personnel? That's his choice.
Well, this is Canadian-born Owen Hargreaves, who played for Wales at under-18 level, and nearly at under-21 level. Then they got the chance to play for England and said qualified for them as well. I think I'll take that choice. It'll be interesting to see whether the fans who know enough about Hargreaves' background to give him a not-so-warm welcome. Yeah, I think some of them do. He has a Welsh mother and an English father, Owen Hargreaves. He comes on with England leading via a Joe Cole goal, and it's Joe Cole who goes off.
Well, this is a goal. Lovely ball from Beckham and a lovely pass from Sean Wright-Phillips, but from that, I think this has gone right down the goalkeeper's throat. Deflection off Gabadon, hugely important.
He's just walked into that space, Joe Cole, hasn't he, to get the shot. Anyway, comes off as the man that was in the right place at the right time, and Owen Hargreaves, who could have been playing for the other side in this match, plays against Wales here. Gerrard. Kumas. I'm sure he's hardly been involved yet, but change things in a twinkle at that time. Just again, although the whole pitch is in shadow now, still very warm in the stadium, and it has been a determining factor in the way this game has been played, the pace of the action, or lack of pace.
Wales have had to work far harder in England, but I do know, I can tell you.
Rooney. Set up by Hargreaves to go again. Goes Collins, efficiently done. But the game is not done here yet, nor are we done in terms of World Cup action, because Scotland v Italy hard on the heels of the final whistle here at the Millennium Stadium, and that in turn followed by Poland against Austria from the Wales-England group. And if England do get the 3 points here, it just puts a bit more pressure on Poland to regain the leadership of the section, which will pass to England if England see it through here. They've still got 12 minutes or so to go.
That must be a free kick.
Carl Fletcher's gone to place the ball straight away. But, Beckham making sure the quick free kick isn't on. Whether he's risking a yellow card by doing so. Remember, one yellow card in the closing stages here, he would be not able to play against Northern Ireland. He's moved away now. Kumas and Giggs continue to do the planning. England have pulled everyone back.
Gotta hit this surely.
Really got within range, Wales, and this is a long way out. And here goes Kumas. It's never really threatening.
That was a decent effort, but no more than that. You see, it's always too high. Had enough bend in it, down the right line. But they've just brought Hargreaves on, John Tashett will know that, to just supplement the front of the back four. There'll be a tad concerned, a little concern there, Ericsson, that there are 3 players to deal with now in red shirts at the top end of the pitch with Earnshaw coming on. He's replied to that by bringing on Hargreaves just to help David Beckham.
Kumas. Archer was trying to run in behind Ferdinand. This is a minority who are being heard here. 7,000 or so England fans. Rooney. Oh, Ashley Cole would have been in the green grass of the Welsh home there. But,
you're delving into your Wicker collection again, aren't you, for titles like that?
well, a few of those were played pre-kick-off here, weren't they? Ashley Cole.
A fabulous crowd here in the stadium today, just short of 71,000.
Beckham. Gerrard. England for the most part. So many of the players have played big club matches on this ground. And they have looked pretty much at home.
Why wouldn't you want to play here?
Well, some of the Welsh players earlier in the week were saying to me, it's a bit like Wembley, really. It could be a disadvantage for Wales. It's great
I think you're right,
for the opposition.
Yeah, I think so.
Millennium Park was a bit cramped, wasn't it? Intimidating at times. There's a lovely new stadium in Swansea, by the way, as well. It's called the New Stadium at the moment. Come up with I think they're looking for a sponsor, by the way. Anyone listening, get in touch with the Football Association of Wales. This is Earnshaw and Ricketts. A reminder of how narrow it is on the scoreline, if not on the territory of the match. Sam Ricketts again. Earnshaw chasing, and he's nicked it in front of Paul Robinson. Rob Earnshaw, and then just run it out. But a little warning across the England bows there.
Well, there's plenty of attempts from England, as far as I can recollect. Only the one save for Paul Robinson from that fantastic header. And the man on the ball now, John Hartson.
Fletcher. Duffy crossing early. Wales lining up. Comes out to Ricketts. Keep it alive again. Giggs gets his head to it. Hartson setting himself for the volley. Great defending for England by Ashley Cole. Comes out to Duffy. Giggs going in. And Shaw's there. And England almost for the first time in the afternoon under what you might loosely describe as sustained pressure. It's a back pass from Gabidon that Danny Coyne worried, I think, for a second or two. He's played well after the horror of the Austria away game.
Yeah, goalkeeper's done everything he could. Absolutely no fault of his goal. But it's a couple of anxious moments for England.
Down goes Earnshaw. Might be more to come. Despite Beckham's protests.
This one is a load up. This is a load forward. Looking for the big boys at the back.
The James Collins one is a bigger one than in the first half.
Well, you just look for a good ball, and if you don't get a clean header, will it drop for you? Will it drop to one of your players?
England can't be smiling yet. Oh, and Hartson slightly misread the flight.
Just overhit as well, I think, Martin, in all honesty.
Well, Kieran Richardson, who exploded onto the international scene with that 2-goal debut against the USA in Chicago, can't get in the Manchester United team at the moment, but he's going to get some World Cup qualifying time here for his country. Steven Gerrard's lack of full match fitness and a previous calf injury probably recognised by the change.
Well, they could actually get the shape back now. I actually think the biggest problem they had in that little spell there when they brought Owen Hargreaves on is that no one knew quite what they were doing. There was no one here on the left-hand side. Rooney was wandering. Beckham going forward now. Can simply slip back in there, that position. Beckham can play as Gerrard if you like. Hargreaves play as Beckham. The two wide players in place, and England will be open, normal service resumed.
Giggs. Kumas did well against Beckham. Young's got to sprint on here with Earnshaw. Scored a hat-trick against his club, Charlton, in the Premiership last season. So he'll know about the dangers of this fella. Throw not taken from the right place. So Ricketts to go again. Gets it back from Earnshaw. And turns Rooney, Sam Ricketts. Hartson, here's Giggs! Ferdinand stuck out of foot. Header out by Young.
Oh, that's how fine a 1-0 lead is. At any level, against anyone.
Kumas. Now Collins. Duffy, and Wales keeping the ball, and England just keeping numbers back. Young has a header to win, and Beckham a pass to make here. Rooney makes it possible. On the way down the right-hand side to set up Van Nistelrooy late on at St James's Park last week, and here he is trying to set up Kieran Richardson. Just a little bit behind him. Duffy. Kumas has given it away to Hargreaves. And Wales were feeling that another break might have been on for them. As it is, Richardson crosses. And, it's Duffy tiring and gives it away to Hargreaves, who's had a good start in the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich. Bit of pressure, though, from Wales.
Yeah, a bit of scrambling. And this is what I talk about keeping the ball alive, keeping it in play. Lovely play, wide. And John Hartson manages to keep it in there, but how quickly Rio Ferdinand reacts to this. As this one drops, you've got to swing now, Ryan Giggs. He doesn't. Ferdinand does, and that's the important one.
And Ferdinand clears here, and it's a bit more than a clearance because it's found Defoe. He's drawn Gabidon out of the middle. And England's attacking options have sharpened up again with the introduction of Kieran Richardson on the left.
And just keep the ball, just pass it. Work it across the pitch.
Hargreaves. Don't want to lose it there, though. And Earnshaw scrambling for it. And he's got it. Hartson can go left. Now Kumas. Ricketts is outside him. Kumas didn't even look, but Giggs has. Now trying to stop the cross
And he took a touch in that, Martin. That was a perfect ball from Giggs to him, and he didn't even need to take a touch in it. He should have just been playing it first time, Sam Ricketts. Gave Luke Young a chance to close him by taking the touch.
It's almost as if John Toshak has said, well, look, we'll hang on in there until the last 10 minutes or so, keep it within range the game, and then really have a go. And here they are, with Ferdinand needed again for England, and Wales have a corner.
That's a super ball from Jason Kumas. Well, these are moments that England shouldn't be enduring. They had so much possession in the game. Should be comfortable. They just look a bit edgy. And Wales are just having a go. Nothing to lose now.
What a blow it would be to England if Wales were to equalise here, but what a lift it would be for Ryan Giggs and his players. John Toshak set them out for a tactical battle here. In goes Collins! He wasn't the only one. That was Partridge, I think, as well.
Yeah, that must have been close. I tell you, it was a beautiful delivery, right in the middle of goal, 6-yard line dropping. I wanted a better one to attack. That's how close it was. Wonder if they got in each other's way there.
So they might have done, and there's a waste from a very tired Carl Fletcher. And one should understand that. He's been chasing and closing down and not been playing for West Ham. John Toshak's team really giving it a go in the closing stages, having spent much of the match doing their best to frustrate England. And then they themselves were frustrated by a deflection off Danny Gabidon that took a Joe Cole shot past Danny Coyne. But it is all about winning, and whatever the critics, who seem to be sharpening their knives for Sven-Göran Eriksson, whatever they think about the general level of performance, I can't say too much if the 3 more points are chalked up against England's name.
I couldn't agree more about qualifying. The object of that is quite simply the word that you've used, qualifying. That job done then, the tournament is always quite a few months ahead of you, or quite a few years in this case. And you get there, and then you decide whether you're going to win it or whether you can win it.
But here's Giggs. They haven't won this match yet. Carragher heads away. Lampard gives it straight back to Giggs. And Beckham bustles his way forward. Never going to be the tough tackling David Beckham in that position, but he'll try and do the job his way. And certainly if opponents allow him to settle on the ball, he'll hurt them with the calibre of his passing. Pro told to get on with it. It's not a free kick for England. 3 added minutes, that's what the crowd are responding to. Ferdinand. And then this time it is Kumas going in a little untidily on Lampard. I think they're happy to take their time over the free kick.
Well, I'm sure the press and people will dissect this performance. 4-5-1 as it was, is it the future? Will England see Beckham, Gerrard and Lampard play like this again? I would say possibly. Has it been a huge success? Far from it.
But if you look way back into the record books at the history of the home internationals, England have had some great teams in the past who have struggled against fellow British nations.
Well, at the risk of upsetting a few players out there, I think the Welsh teams in the past might have been slightly better and more of a players' quality. Certainly Scotland were a bit like that as well.
Well, more of them would have been playing at the higher level of English football, simply because there were no foreigners in the old First Division then. They were the foreigners, like you were. But we were very pleased to see you come south.
So was I.
Some of us even remember shouting grey goal. It does date one rather these days. Here's Hargreaves. And here's Rooney. Partridge in the way. We're into the final minute here in the Millennium Stadium. And it's run towards Earnshaw, but Ferdinand at least held Wales up for a moment, but he didn't deal with it. He's just stuck an arm out at Earnshaw as well. Only to block his run, not to throw a blow at him. He smacked a little bit of desperation. There's a Very good climb by Carrigan, not once but twice. And there are only seconds to go now, and it's Defoe and Rooney, and plenty of players representing England around Frank Lampard.
No, job done. England will feel it quite rightly.
Maybe one last chance for Wales.
Oh, it's down and hammer it, I'm afraid. Oh dear. Not so sure he'd be taking a pass there. That's more like he would be doing.
It's got to be one for Hartson to fight for. Collins is forward as well. It drops for Kumas. Has to go back, but that's it. England have won. The bottom line here is they move another step towards the World Cup finals. It hasn't been particularly pretty. It took a deflection off Gabidon. Joe Cole's goal. And in terms of a result, I guess expected. Whether it was the expected response after the Denmark debacle, possibly not so. Wayne Rooney's not happy at the end of this one as well, as he certainly wasn't in Copenhagen. But in some ways it was difficult for England, overwhelming favourites, and John Toshak using this as a step to develop his side, trying to frustrate Eriksen's men. Beckham's had his game in the central midfield. Whether he'll stay there, well, we'll find out on Wednesday as England head off to Belfast. Wales go to Poland with all the good wishes of the English fans as well. Poland play later tonight, of course, against Austria. You can see that with us after the Scotland-Italy game coming up. And England are back on top of the group for the moment. Wales 0, England 1.
It is Group 6, of course, where Northern Ireland today have beaten Azerbaijan by 2-0. Stuart Elliott and Warren Feeney with a penalty late on. So England top the group, 1 point clear now of Poland, who, as Martin was saying, do play later against Austria. Northern Ireland now take 4th, and it's Wales and Azerbaijan bringing